It's a great pleasure. It's an honor also again meeting all of our media friends from Hyderabad, Telangana, because all of you have seen me for many years in different roles and responsibilities. And this one here today is something very dear personally and professionally, of course. I've been associated with CII for quite a long time, maybe 2 decades now, through the organization, and have served as the chairperson of Andhra Pradesh back in 2011-13, and also as the founding chairperson of chairwoman of the Indian Women Network for the southern region, which we founded here in Chennai, based out of the south. Moved on to become the national chair for the Indian Women Network, taking it all across the country. So this has been, and then now back again in the CII fold, back as the chairperson for the southern region of the CII, headquartered in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Thank you all very much for being here. Apart from that, you know the other hat that I also wear for my, for what I do day to day. But this is a great responsibility that rests on our shoulders as the leadership for the southern region, because we not look at just one of our states or 2 of them, but the entire 6 states come under our umbrella of activities, independently headed by the leadership in the respective states. So it's a great journey for us in the CII fold to be in this group of people who not only work for their organizations, but also for the growth and the development of their states and to the region of the country itself. Having said that, I also want our media friends to be aware that I warmly welcome all the regional media and the other media who are present from across the other 5 states who could not be here personally today with us, since we have opened up a virtual platform. And I warmly welcome all of them from Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry, Kerala, and Karnataka, who are also joining us today virtually. Thank you very much. Good afternoon once again. Namaskar. I would like to thank and welcome all of you, which I did already, and I've just shared my little bit of a journey. I'm very glad, of course, to see many of you again post the pandemic, though we were also meeting some of you during the pandemic as well. Those were challenging times. Today at this media interaction, I would like to brief and share with you the work plan and the focus areas of the CII Southern Region for the current year, which we have embarked upon with the help of a presentation that's been made exclusively for this media interaction today. After the presentation, I would try and take up questions from some of you. In alignment with CII's national theme, can we get the first slide on? In alignment with CII's national theme, we in the southern region this year have adopted the theme Beyond South at 75, Competitiveness, Growth, Sustainability, Internationalism for the year 22 and 23. The implementation of the theme will broadly be under the focus areas of policy, regulatory excellence, enhancing core competitiveness, protecting lives and livelihoods, societal connect, sustainability, and membership engagement. Next slide, please. Our key economic highlights for this year would be that I'm sharing with you the economic highlights of South India in particular. I do not want to share too much data, but not only those, I do not want to share too much data, but only those which are key in the current scenario. I think that is very important for us to keep note of. You can see the kind of larger share that the southern states are contributing to the overall country's GDP. It's over 30%, and it's really a remarkable achievement. You all must have seen the recent report of the DPIIT, Government of India, on the ease of doing business achievements, and we are all very glad to note that some of our southern states, in fact all of them, are almost there. Topping with Andhra Pradesh, it's alphabetical in order, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Karnataka, among the top 6 states working on EOD. AODB and effectively, and also the other smaller states we have in Kerala and Pondicherry are also very effectively working their way out there, which is something very heartening for us to be a part of at this point of time. The southern states also lead nationally in various socio-economic indicators like the number of factories, the workforce, the education, the healthcare, among others, that all of you are aware of. Slide number 4. This slide in particular shows you the list of subcommittees formed this year to give thrust to our sectoral initiatives and also support the implementation of the regional work plan that we have. Our task forces and forums are, as you can see, have been shared to you on the screen, covering many sectors. These are some of them which have been highlighted here for you. Next slide, please. The CII membership, a snapshot for all of you, is to again present to you that CII, as you all know, is a national organization with a cumulative membership of 4 regions from across the country, and the southern region tops it all. So that is something that is very, again, heartening for me with my colleagues in the entire system who work tirelessly, and also all our membership. I think this is not done without our membership and the leadership at CII. Our region, the southern region, is the largest, services to more than 3,000 members across the southern states. We have the largest representation of MSME members, which is at 63%. Large companies represent 23% of the membership in the southern region. So I just want you to understand that it is just not, CII is not about large companies and being members. We take pride in the work that we do with our MSME membership in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities and in our zonal offices, which I'll touch upon later. Education institutions are a part of our membership again, which is 12%, in associations. Multi-sectoral associations share 2% of the overall membership. Happy to add that Tamil Nadu is the largest state in CII nationally, and it caters to 1,400 members. CII Southern Region membership. Southern Region has largely represented by manufacturing industries, followed by services. The presence of manufacturing, engineering industries are at 28% at our membership. The key strategic areas for us are policy imperatives for economic growth in states. The topmost priority for the southern region will be to work closely with all the state governments in the southern region on the policy imperatives which lead to economic growth in the country and in the region. A continuous engagement with the southern states have helped states like Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Telangana and Tamil Nadu to lead in the ease of doing business rankings in the country at large. Next slide, please. I have a sub-slide here. The development of Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, as I had just mentioned to you earlier. CII is not present in Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad and the capitals of the states, but we represent our membership in each one of these cities that are put out to you in our presentation here, with physical offices in 15 of those Tier 2 and Tier 3 towns, and also 9 hybrid offices which help in strengthening our engagement at the local level and the zonal level. Our focus is on primary and the emerging sectors. CII emphasizes exploring opportunities in emerging key sectors by creating sectoral forums, and each of these sectors' growth and development have an impact assessment in the sectoral related projects with initiatives. CII works with the state governments in bringing out sectoral policies to attract new investments and emerging sectors. To share, I just have a few key slides again showing you what is happening in each one of our states in a more focused manner. You have industries that are represented in defense and aerospace and electronics, pharma and life sciences, biotechnology, artificial intelligence, robotics, agriculture, Ayurveda, automobiles, and the list just goes on. That is the core strength of us. The third slide is about the Indian Women Network and the Young Indians, which is also an integral part of CII in the southern region as well as across the country. We have a vibrant framework of empowering women from all sectors and in all organizations across all walks of life to shape up their careers and make them a part of the national building process. This year we will be rolling out focused leadership initiatives across the region to impact more than 8,000 women and youth through IWIN and Young Indians. Competitiveness, coming to this, is I think the crux of what we are doing here today with all of you, is to explain rather in a bit of a detail as to how we are looking at what are the core areas that we need to concentrate on for the southern region at large. CII has been focusing on competitiveness for the past many years with an aim to make Indian industry globally competitive. We firmly believe that improving the competitiveness of industry will lead to a holistic development of the state and to the region. CII has set up task forces and regional level, at the region and at the state level, on ease of doing business, which is working closely with the state governments. CII also will set up an exclusive task force in southern states on the investment promotion with an aim to attract new investors and expansion of existing industries. I must share with you that CII is working closely with most of the state governments on their investment promotional activities, both nationally and internationally. Another important initiative of the policy on the front is the formation of the CII State Government Consultative Forums. This is very important for us to engage with the independent individual state governments at large. CII has set up a similar forum in Kerala. These forums primarily work towards effective implementation of the ease of doing business in the states with inputs from industry. CII is working with the state governments of Telangana, Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry for setting up the CII Government Consultative Forum with an aim to promote industrial development and improve the ease of doing business in all these states. CII would take up state-level task forces on digital transformation to support industries in their digitalization initiatives. The Center for Digital Transformation will provide support to industries in this regard, and this is primarily to make the CII member companies to be ready for Industry 4.0. CII would also focus on structural reforms at the state level in areas like labor laws, infrastructure, agriculture, and in particular this year, apart from the public health, which is a very important and current scenario. All of us know what we have been through in the last 2.5 years now. CII has been continuously focusing on development of MSMEs. Our focus in business development initiatives, vendor development programs, buyer-seller meets, finance, exports, and international linkages from all the southern states in the region. CII launched a new initiative called Lighthouse to enhance the personal competitiveness of the SME members, the small and medium scale members in the southern states. We are impacting close to 100 SME members directly through this program. Besides this, more thrust would also be given to the advisory services on intellectual property rights, which is also becoming a very important tool for industry to grow and also to bring about technology interventions and also develop the technological competencies of countries like ours, which are on a growth target. Capacity building programs and creating B2B platforms in all major business forums. Next slide, please. Focusing on growth, CII would give special focus on state level industrial policies and sectoral policies in areas like startups, electric vehicles, research and development, and skill development. We are working with all the state governments in bringing about specific sectoral recommendations, study reports, investment strategy papers, promoting exports, and working to create stronger linkages with the global supply chain. CII has will launch the India at 100 initiative and will work with industry and state governments to contribute towards growth and development of the nation. Special programs celebrating India at 75 have already begun, because CII had this program similar to the CII at 100 now that we are launching. We started working on CII at, India at 75 way, a long time back. So we plan ahead in terms of how we need to be prepared as a country, as industry, and as the states and the region. CII India at 75 is being planned in Bangalore this time in August 2022. As I mentioned earlier, CII would work with the states in bringing out district development plans. This is very important for us. We have done it in all the states. We will be taking up more of these plans as we go forward, which is very important for us to understand the potential and the competencies and the infrastructure and the natural resources that we have in each one of these districts from the states. We have identified 12 districts, focused on them in all the 6 southern states for undertaking these specific interventions. CII Southern Region will continue its work with farmer cooperatives, women PFOs, and promotion of agro-based and rural enterprise, including traditional crafts, to help create jobs in rural areas on a cooperative model, and also look at global linkages. Farmer producer organizations, the FPOs and the women FPOs, will aggregate farmers, especially from the small and marginal levels, to producer companies, and emerge as one of the most effective means in the recent past to address many challenges that agriculture faces in our country today. The main objective of mobilizing farmers to member-owned producer companies, or FPCs, is to enhance production, productivity, and profitability of agriculturists, especially the small, marginalized, and women farmers. The exclusive Women Farmer Produce organization is supported by Blue Star and is implemented with the support of the National Agro Foundation. The project mainly focused on formation, strengthening, capacity building, and hand-holding of the farmer producer organization, and it now consists of more than 600 shareholders engaged in various businesses, including dairy, vermicomposting, panchagavya, and the sale of cattle feed. CII would work with select states in capacity building programs for FPOs and resource institutes, with a focus on the management capabilities in the supply chain operations, nuances of market dynamics and linkages, business planning according to the market intelligence, and market development. CII will also work closely with respective state governments and the industry to facilitate generating over 25 lakh jobs in the next 5 years in the southern region. This is a tall goal for us, but I'm positive that we will continue to be consistent in working and reaching this goal. In Telangana alone, CII aims to create 5 lakh jobs by 2027. To achieve this goal, CII has chalked out a two-pronged strategy. First, to promote the southern states as an attractive investment destination globally, and second, to work with the existing industries for expansion of their business operations in the southern region. The southern states' leadership in ease of doing businesses, supported by the stable governments, would be a game changer in achieving this milestone on job creation. CII Southern Region and the work of the state governments on possibility of setting up fintech cities in the southern states will make South India a fintech capital of our country. We feel all states have enough strength, be it technology, manpower, infrastructure, in making this happen. Next slide, please. Sustainability is the need of the hour, is what we feel on a daily basis. And the pandemic has also taught us nothing less than that. CII would work with the southern state governments on policies to promote sustainability in southern states. Sustainable mobility in one such area where CII is working with the state governments of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Telangana. Under the climate change and disaster management, CII is working to create a climate change and disaster risk reduction mitigation roadmap for industries and state governments. CII has been advocating environmental sustainability through green initiatives. CII is working with the Indian Green Building Council and the CII Green Business Center, which you all know exists right here in Madhapur in Hyderabad, towards increasing the green footprints and the IGBC rated projects in the southern region. In the southern region alone, over 2,082 green building projects have been completed with a green footprint of 2.17 billion square feet. We are affirming our work towards creating a greener footprint in southern India. I think this is a great role model that we have in the country itself and maybe in this part of the world. We would also focus on CSR activities with the help of industries, affirmative action, women and youth development, which creates major linkages with the social sector. CII will work on the rural-urban balance by making engagement with select districts in the region to create industrial growth and job creation, which would build a stronger connect between industry and society through CSR initiatives. CII also works on participatory watershed management programs in select districts in Telangana, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh to prevent the loss of soil and water and to conserve and sustain the natural resources. The watershed is being taken up in several parts of the southern region and in all the states. The program also includes training and demonstration, as watershed management not only deals with conservation of soil and water, but also deals with the judicious utilization of resources for the benefit of the local communities. The project also addresses the social needs of the communities by supporting landless farmers and women through farming, through promotion of micro enterprises within the watershed community, besides facilitation of financial inputs to them. CII will focus on a digital agriculture towards empowering farmers and to enhance their income through adoption of information technology in farm practices. We are organizing a major exhibition in Chennai called Food Pro in the first week of August 22. CII also works with farmers on crop-specific initiatives. Next slide, please. Last but not the least, in terms of our focus areas, will be internationalization. Going global is the new imperative for the Indian industry in alignment with the objectives of the expanding exports. It is important for a mature and capable Indian industry to deepen its overseas footprint and to undertake investments in other countries. Towards this objective, CII would create platforms for industries in southern region to explore new avenues for expanding the businesses overseas. CII, through its vast network of international offices and MOU partners, would create new market opportunities in ASEAN, in SAARC, South Asia, Africa, and the Middle East, besides the other regions for industry members. CII would also facilitate international networking and business opportunities for industry through sectoral trade fairs and business summits. Investment promotion roadshows in overseas countries would be organized to attract investments into the southern states. We are working with all the state governments in this specific agenda point, which is very important for Indian industry to continue to work towards in the global economic scenario that we are all in. And post-pandemic, I think it's going to be much more important for us to focus in this area. To promote exports, CII will work with states in bringing out exclusive policies on manufacturing exports, which is going to be very important for the future of our industry. CII has launched the Mystic South initiative to promote southern states as an attractive destination among overseas investors. This initiative profiles the southern states to investors both in India and abroad and gives them adequate information and knowledge in terms of the sectoral competencies and the state competencies which we have in the region, which need to be decided for their plans for investments. We work with the state governments again on an ongoing basis for such initiatives. Having shared my thoughts on all the focus points that we have for this year that we will continue to work on, I would like to now bring to you some information on the respective work that is being done in our states. We have 6 states under the Southern Region umbrella, and all this work happens in each one of those states by the state leadership, in the zones by the zonal leadership, and in the Tier 2 and in the Tier 3 towns, and of course the Tier 1 cities of these respective states. So I think I would not be able to present this information to you without the support and the legwork that goes on happening day to day across the southern region, thanks to all the leadership and also to all our offices and everybody who supports us, the governments of course who continuously work with us in all these initiatives that we take upon. Let me start with Andhra Pradesh. Alphabetically comes first, of course, in our list of states in the south. CII's vision for Andhra Pradesh is to make Andhra Pradesh an industrial state by 2025. In line with the vision of the state, CII would work with the state government in creating an enabling environment and make Andhra Pradesh a leader in industrial development. Towards this, CII will work with the government in bringing sectoral policies for high growth sectors and transformation and transform the state as an export and logistics hub with the CII Center for Excellence in Logistics in this respect. With one of the largest sea coast lines that we have, the sea coast being I think the second largest sea coastline in the country itself, Andhra Pradesh, CII Andhra Pradesh is working with the state government on this agenda as a focus area. CII will also focus on sectors like agro and food processing, MSME, aerospace, defense, electronics, energy, life sciences, and tourism in Andhra Pradesh. CII Andhra Pradesh is working with the state government in bringing about a startup policy to promote startups also in the state. Next slide, please. Moving on to Karnataka. CII's vision for Karnataka is to accelerate business transformation through innovation and inclusion in alignment with the vision of India at 75 initiative. In Karnataka, CII has focused on high sectors like automobiles, machine tools, aerospace and defense, electric vehicles, biofuels, beside knowledge-based industries. CII will work with the state government in making Karnataka an aerospace and EV capital of India. CII will focus more on development initiatives in the state by creating employment opportunities for the youth, by organizing career fairs and internships and upskilling programs, which goes on almost on a yearly basis. I mean, this is just a continuous flow of work that keeps happening in all our states. It's not something new that I'm trying to say here, because this is a very continuous process of what we do and how we attach our work on the areas that we need to focus, because it's these are long drawn initiatives for CII. As a part of our initiatives on inclusive growth, CII will focus on aspirational districts and also the development of the Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities like Hubballi, Dharwad. This is Karnataka because I was referring to the slide there. And Mangalore and Belgaum and Mysuru. These are zones for us which are coming up very well. CII will launch initiatives on adoption of clean energy and sustainability development in the state. Next slide, please. Moving on to Kerala, God's own country. It's such a promising the state, and the way our leadership and the CII offices work there is always something that we all learn and take home. CII's vision for Kerala is to make Kerala one among the top 3 states in India in the ease of doing business ranking by 2025. CII and the government of Kerala's consultative forum constituted in Kerala is working on the EDB and other policy interventions to support industrial growth in the state. CII is also working with the state government for existing industries to expand their operations within the state. CII's recent survey conducted among industries in Kerala revealed that the total investment to the tune of 1,500 crores have been indicated as an investment plan by the companies of Kerala that have been surveyed. Under the inclusive agenda, CII will focus on employability initiatives by providing skills, training to youth through industry academia partnerships. Under the CII Model Career Center, over 7 lakh employment opportunities would also be created in the state of Kerala. As a part of our engagement with districts, Kottayam, Thrissur, Palakkad and Kozhikode will be taken up under the district development plans for this year. CII would focus on IT startups and MSMEs. Tourism is always a strong point. Agriculture and food processing, spices and Ayurveda or no less, and family-owned businesses as a part of its work plan for Kerala this year. Puducherry, our smallest state but also a very vibrant state that is coming along, is a model state. Our vision in CII is to make it a model state by 2025. Puducherry has a strong ecosystem to support growth of manufacturing sector in the state. CII would work towards making Puducherry a pharma, auto auxiliary and EV hub by 2025. Tourism is another area where CII will have more focus this year. CII would work with the state government to make Puducherry a preferred destination for international tourism, especially in spiritual and eco-friendly tourism. Infrastructure is an important area in the state which needs to be focused in order to attract new investments. CII will work with the state government and the upgradation of the Karaikal port and the Puducherry airport to improve the infrastructure facilities in the industrial estates and across the state. Because as you all know, Pondicherry is split up in, not just in Pondicherry, but they have Mahe, they have Yanam, which is across on the coast of Andhra Pradesh, and then Karaikal, of course. So they have spoken a hub model kind of a state which has to all be looked at cumulatively. Pondicherry will also, being close to Chennai, has its potential to become a regional hub for IT and the ITES sector. The talented workforce in Pondicherry will be to set up their offices in Puducherry. Next slide, please. Last but not the least is Tamil Nadu. CII's vision for Tamil Nadu is to make Tamil Nadu a 1 trillion economy by 2030, as envisaged by the Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Thiru M.K. Stalin. To realize this vision, the Honorable Chief Minister is making the state a 1 trillion economy. It is important to focus on the emerging industry sectors which have a high growth potential. CII will focus on important areas like Industry 4.0, R&D, innovation, media, entertainment, electronics, electric vehicles, medical devices, pharma, among other key sectors to support the overall growth of the state. CII will work with the state government in transforming Tamil Nadu as a media and entertainment and animation hub of India. Another important area the state would focus is on the development of the southern districts in the state. Tier 2 and Tier 3 towns like Madurai, Sivagangai, Hosur, Tanjavur, Karur, Namakkal, Tirunelveli and Ramnad, Theni and Virudhunagar have immense potential to attract high potential and growth industries, as the region is blessed with highly talented and low-cost labor. Tamil Nadu is a leader in attracting overseas investment in the country. CII will work with the government to attract rupees 1 lakh crore of investments for the year 2023. CII will facilitate to the development of a special economic, environment and sustainability action plan for Tamil Nadu with a roadmap for implementing this plan forward. Next slide, please. Telangana, of course, is also there in the picture, which is not the last again. Always competing and revving to go up in its productivity and in its position in the country. CII's vision for Telangana is to make it an innovation and startup hub by 2025. Telangana, with the presence of several high-tech companies in the fields of research and innovation, coupled with proactive policies of the state government to promote emerging sectors, CII is all set to become a global, the state is all set to become a global hub for pharma and the life sciences industry, which is known to all of you here. CII would work with the state government to promote digital Telangana, which is again a very futuristic and important tool for us to grow as a state here, and would collaborate with the industry and the academia to train large number of people in digital skills. CII will also work with the state government to set up a CII government Telangana consultative forum on industrial development in the state. Skills has been a focus sector for CII, and in collaboration with ALPLA India, is implementing a dual apprenticeship program where students would undergo the training in industry. Similar interventions we propose to implement with many other companies and organizations. Also, together with the State Department of Education of Telangana, we have initiated an industry training program for the faculty for 3 weeks, which just got kick-started today. Also, CII will execute programs to further strengthen brand Telangana as the best investment destination in the country. Equitable growth is key towards holistic development. Towards this, CII would focus on promoting Tier 2 cities like Warangal and Nizamabad as well. Other key sectors for CII will be to work with the government that include agriculture, education, healthcare, MSMEs, among others. CII will also take up the greening the industrial park initiatives on sustainable development this year. Next slide, please. These are some of the major initiatives for the, I'm sorry, did I skip why? The major initiatives for the region are something that is put up on this slide here. It's just for you to be aware of what happens across the region. These are just a few, the highlights that completely happens across the year after year, across the region in all the 6 states. I'm moving on to the next important slide for CII again, is the Indian Women Network and the Young Indians. Indian Women Network was founded in the year 2013 as of being the first founding chairwoman for the Indian Women Network from the southern region for the entire country. This is a great thought process from the leadership of the southern region, and we became the first ones to get this initiative kick-started from the southern region. The vision was to bring becoming the largest into our workforces. The thought behind the formation of IWIN was that career women require a structured network to meet like-minded women and other career professionals to discuss and overcome their challenges and that they might be facing at the workplace. IWIN works towards enabling women to become better professionals and achievers in their respective fields through initiatives and activities. We also find that there is a lot of work-life balance issues that most of these young women, when they start their careers, especially the first 10 years, it's very difficult to retain them. We in the industry know this on hand due to experience, irrespective of the industry. I can mention this, that it is a great challenge in front of us daily to hold on to our women colleagues, the younger ones especially, because we just lose them for many, many reasons. And there are many of them are extremely talented and brilliant and contribute to the growth of our organizations and to the states that they come from. The CII IWIN Southern Region focus on initiatives like leadership development, mentorship, student engagement through campus to career programs, besides policy advocacy and with respect to POSH and the gender diversity, which is again a very, very important topic for us to address. Young Indians is also something that you're all aware of. And I just wanted to finish off with this last leg that I have to, as my responsibility as the Southern Region Chair. I want my young Indian friends, the leadership and all the members of the Young Indians who are a part of this network under the CII umbrella to tell them that they are doing a marvelous job, especially because in terms of youth coverage, co-creating and leading in India's influence and India's future. They are all under 40, so you can imagine the energy levels that they bring from their diversity and the sectors that they represent. And this is across India that we have this network again for young Indians. Under the leadership, youth leadership, YI works effectively for promoting leadership skills for its members through programs in entrepreneurship and innovation. YI Student and Yuva Wing engages over 30,000 young dynamic students from various educational streams through the Yuva institutions. Under the nation building, YI engages its members under its projects as Masoom, Gift and Organ, and Road Safety. YI also works under the broad categories of education, environment, healthcare, employability, arts, sports and culture, rural initiatives, the accessibility, disaster management, contributing positively to their surrounding ecosystems and to the nation at large. Under thought leadership, YI engages its members through a contributory movement of constructive action, collaborative reasoning, and collective voice to be heard. YI conducts learning sessions with industry experts to impart experimental learning through interactions and discussions. With 20 years of a glorious past and decades ahead that the promise nothing short, young Indians intend to become a large movement of young people with a conviction in we can, we will. Again, Young Indians also as an initiative from the southern region of CII. It's a great pride for me to say that both these initiatives have sprung up from the southern zone and the southern region of CII. With this, I would like to thank you all personally once again for sparing your valuable time with us here today in understanding some of the initiatives, the core focus areas, and the diversity in terms of the activities and the working with the state governments and the policy interventions and our consultative forums that are going to be bringing about huge changes in the way we work with each and every government in the southern region, in the southern states of India. With that, I thank you very much once again. Thank you. I would also like to thank all of them who have joined here physically, of course. I mean that I don't need to mention it again, but certainly everyone who has been virtually connected to this call. There has been a very long list of the media presence here today from the entire 6 states, which is very heartening. And because you are all partners in this work that we do collectively with the state governments, and the media has always been a very positive support mechanism that we have had over the years, and we wish and continue to have that in the future as well. Thank you so much once again.